What is going on, everybody? I am the FDGURU, bringing to you guys a Friday NBA play-in final edition. We got the last two play-in games for the East and the West on Friday. So two-game slate. I'm doing this video on Thursday because, it's Thursday night. We have no MLB going on, no NBA. We did have an after-hours slate, but there was a rain out, so decided I'd do the NBA video right now. I got nothing better to do. Doing free credits in this video. Give this video a like, subscribe, put my alerts on so you don't miss any future videos, and giveaways for my website. I do appreciate you guys for stopping by. As usual, I'm going to give you guys 5 plays that I like, one for each position, and we're going to want to take advantage of that usage for the Miami Heat with no Jimmy Butler now. Hurt his knee last game, was able to finish the game, but you could tell right away he did something pretty wrong because he's a tough guy. Playoff Jimmy, for him to look like he was hurting that badly, obviously I knew something was wrong. We'll get into the plays here, though. For point guard, I do think CJ McCollum's the play. Not only do we not have a huge piece in Jimmy Butler on Friday, but we also have no Zion Williamson, who had a freakish injury late in that play-in game. Had 40 points. Looks like he ripped up his hamstring pretty bad. Bad enough for him to get ruled out for Friday pretty early on Wednesday. So, we're going to have some Pelicans value. We're going to have some Heat value. CJ McCollum, I rostered him in the first play-in game, and he just destroyed me. He played terrible. He missed every single shot. From what I remember, I think he shot like 0 for 55 from the field. He's just going to have the entire team on his shoulders. He's going to have to play well. Whether he's hitting shots or not, his assist numbers should be there with no Zion on the court. Brandon Ingram, I still don't like Brandon Ingram, even though he's only 7,700. The fact he only played 24 minutes in a must-win game, I guess it wasn't a must-win game because they're playing on Friday, but, in the first play-in game, you obviously want to win. Ingram playing 24 minutes, that's worrisome, especially for his status on Friday. I don't see him getting up towards 30 minutes. It doesn't seem like a realistic projection at all. So even at 7,700, obviously with no Zion, if we had a healthy Brandon Ingram, he'd probably be the best play on the entire slate at 7,700, but he just can't be trusted. I'm going to elect to go to CJ McCollum. A fully healthy CJ McCollum. Only played 29 minutes because Jose Alvarado sparked them off the bench, and there was like a 5-minute period late in that fourth quarter where CJ McCollum was on the bench. They're not going to have any choice but to play CJ McCollum even if he's playing bad because Zion's out. All the usage, like I said, is going to go to McCollum. Needs 42 fantasy points to hit value. Finished the season off extremely strong, mid-50s upside. So, kind of my favorite point guard play on Friday's slate. I know we have Kobe White, who just dropped an absolute nuke, and Tyler Hero without Jimmy Butler. I still like CJ McCollum, though, more than those two guys. Now, not that Hero and Kobe White are not good plays. I just think McCollum without Zion Williamson and a hurt Brandon Ingram is just, a must play. I'm probably going to be playing, like, cash. I'll probably do CJ McCollum and Tyler Hero, and then GBP, I'll probably do CJ McCollum and Kobe White or something. I'll get my exposure to those guys. I don't like the idea of going cheap at point guard too much. So CJ McCollum is a good play in my opinion. And then the injury news we're going to want to wait on is Chicago. I think these guys are truly questionable. Thank God it's the first game on the slate. Because if it was that 9:30 game, we'd have a lot of issues. Because I do think these guys are going to be game time decisions. Dosunmu played and played 40 minutes. He's questionable. So he's probably going to play. If he could play 40 minutes on Wednesday, he's probably good to go. Caruso's the true questionable guy here. I actually probably want to lean towards him not playing. He wasn't able to come out in the second half in that first play-in game. Seemed like he hurt his ankle pretty bad. We'll see how he recovers and reacts 48 hours later. But my lean is that Alex Caruso doesn't play. Again, we're going to know that news before lock, thankfully. And then a third bull is Andre Drummond's questionable. He went into the first play-in game questionable. Not too much of a big deal whether he plays or not. I realistically think if Drummond's out those 10 minutes, most of those 10 minutes, Vucevic just might play like the whole game. Maybe they do a little Sonogo. It's not going to be a good enough, read or play if Drummond's out, because I do think Vucevic just plays the bulk of the minutes. The Caruso news is definitely the biggest part of the Bulls injury report. Shooting guard, I do like Trey Murphy. He was playing big minutes off the bench. He wasn't starting with Zion playing. He was still able to log in 30 minutes in that first play-in game. Played fairly well. No Zion Williamson now. He's probably going to start. Either him or Herb Jones could start at power forward. I do not think they start Larry Nance. They're going to split center with Larry. We saw during the regular season when Zion was out, it didn't really affect the five. It didn't affect Joval. It didn't affect Larry Nance. We still saw them split. More so, really, Larry Nance playing more minutes than Joval. But we'll have to see. I mean, Joval played a good game in that play-in game at the beginning. Larry Nance ended up seeing the bulk off the bench, which has been the recipe for the Pelicans in the whole second half of the season. We'll talk about that. I don't want to get too far into that. But with Zion out, my projection is that either Trey Murphy, or if they wanted to get really weird, Najee Marshall starts. But my projection is that Trey Murphy starts, and he looks like a great play. Zion plays 32 to 34 minutes. He's going to play. I would not be surprised if Trey Murphy at the end of this game is at 40 to 44 minutes. He's a young stud for them. We saw him play 40 minutes towards the end of the year. Really, really like Trey Murphy. Multi-positional eligibility. Again, with no Zion, we're going to see Herb Jones maybe see a couple extra minutes. We're going to see Trey Murphy see more minutes. Najee Marshall, I think, is the biggest bench beneficiary. Obviously right under Trey Murphy, but I do think these forwards are the guys who get extra minutes with no Zion. So Trey Murphy looks really good at 6,400. Needs 32 fantasy points to hit value. Projects out really well. One of my favorite plays on Friday. Before I get to my last three picks of this video, I'll give you that Guru credit code on my website. If you're new to my website, go to fd-guru.com. And this is where I post all of DFS main slates for FanDuel and DraftKings. As you can see, I have an NBA playoffs tab here, MLB, PGA. Those are the three sports we're running right now. You got my Dub Club subscription too here. I also have the link below this video for $1. Go to my shop page. This website runs through a currency called Guru Credits. These credits buy you all memberships and lineups that I do. Again, you got to be signed into an account for this code to work, because the way the system works, when you type in the code, those credits go right into your account. So if you're not signed into an account, it can't work. The shop page is where you buy all your usual credits. You'll get 10 credits here. If you type in, it's always all capitals, NBA play-in. NBA play-in for the finals of these NBA play-in games. If you type in NBA play-in all caps, you'll get those 10 credits. The page will reload itself. Again, just like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. For small forward, we're going to get cheap. Now, I had talked at the beginning of this video about, Jimmy Butler being out, Heat value, Zion being out, Pelicans value. How do you not love Yami Yaquez? I mean, he's projected to start. He played 22 minutes off the bench with Jimmy Butler playing, and he played well, 24 fantasy points. Ended the season on a very strong note, 32 minutes, 47, 38 fantasy points. The ceiling is there when he gets the opportunities. He's going to be the third scoring option on this Heat team. Now, you know what I really did forget is that Terry Rozier is probably, again, I'm doing this video on Thursday, so we have no injury status on him. Probably going to be questionable for Friday, but he hasn't been able to play for a while, so we'll have to see. If he's out, though, Yami Jaquez looks good. Duncan Robinson was active last game, and Spoelstra said he won't be on a minutes limit. I mean, he was on no minutes, period. I mean, he played 0 minutes. I mean, that's a crazy thing to say, and then not play him. People bet him. I wonder if he gets voided or not. I think he does. I think they have to play a minute for a bet to, be active. But Duncan Robinson clearly is not a priority for Spoelstra and the Heat. I would be shocked if he sees more minutes over Jaquez or if he starts over Jaquez. I do think Jaquez is the guy who's going to fill right in for Jimmy Butler here. Probably going to play 35-plus minutes. Jimmy Butler plays a ton of minutes, so without him, they're going to need a lot of help at the forward position. Jaquez at 5,200, 26 fantasy points is what he needs. Looks like a fantastic value play. Power forward, I'm going pretty cheap for you guys. I mean, why not just keep on going with the Heat value? There's a lot of guys I like. It's a pretty good slate. The fact that we have no Zion and Jimmy Butler means that, we have value. I don't like Hayward Highsmith. Sorry to click on him to mislead you, but I just want to talk about how ridiculous that game was on Wednesday. He's a terrible fantasy point per minute guy. Do not play Hayward Highsmith. Keegan Murray had a great game. He's 6,800 now. His price is getting up there, but he showed his ceiling game last game. I don't mind Keegan Murray. Caleb Martin's the guy, though. I'm not going to fall into the Jovic trap that I did on Wednesday. He was extremely chalky. Had him on cash and GPP. Was still able to cash with the GPP lineup easily, and we cashed with the GPP lineup. Both slates of the play-in games. So Jovic, I'm not playing him. He starts for them, but he doesn't play significant minutes. It's Caleb Martin. We saw Martin start. Now, if Terry Rozier is playing, we're going to have to wait and see on this lineup. Again, this game is at 7 o'clock. So it's a really good thing that this game is at 7 o'clock because these are the two teams that we need to know the starting lineup the most. The Kings, we know who they're going to start. The Pelicans, we mainly know who they're going to start. Probably Trey Murphy for Zion. It's the Heat and the Bulls. The Bulls have 3 guys on the injury report. The Heat are going to have Terry Rozier on the injury report. We're going to want to see who starts for Jimmy Butler. It's just a fantastic game to be the first game because it's going to really tell us all we need to know. If Caleb Martin's starting again with no Jimmy Butler, the usage will be up. He was disappointing in that play-in game. I had him everywhere. But he is in a different category than Jovic. We know Caleb Martin can see the usage in play. Jovic, we don't know. He's still a rookie. You can't trust what he does on the court. Caleb Martin can get involved very, very fast. We've seen him do this in the playoffs year in and year out. So if he's going to play 30-plus minutes in the absence of Jimmy Butler, 4,800 looks like a really, really good price on Caleb Martin. And then for center, we're going back to Larry Nance. I don't care that his price is 5,800. He needs 29 fantasy points to hit value. We have no Zion now. I know I said earlier that Zion doesn't really affect Larry Nance because he really doesn't. But when Larry Nance is on the court, there's just not going to be Zion usage. So he just looks so good. He's playing more than Joe Val. He played 27 minutes in the play-in game, got 30 fantasy points. He was obviously a smash play last game because his salary was only like $4,800. He's gone up $1,000 for good reason. I do still like him. I do think he still plays more than Valanciunas. It's a matchup against Domantas Sabonis. I think Larry Nance matches up against him better than Valanciunas. I like Nance. He's not like as much of a smash play as he was last slate, obviously, because he's $1,000 more, but I do think he's still in play. He can really contribute fantasy points in a number of ways. Not a huge block and steals guy, but he can get them. He was active on the glass, 12 rebounds. He gets assists, 6, 7, 4. He had 5 in the play-in game. And then he gets his, 6 to 12 points on dunks. He actually missed a dunk last game early when I was watching it. Had a wide open dunk, and I was like, that's an easy 2 to start things off, and he just bricks it off the back rim. But Nance is probably going to play over 25 minutes, and, he's a fantasy point per minute guy. At 5,800, he needs 28, 29 fantasy points. He's still going to grade out really well on this 2-game slate. And again, no Zion. It doesn't, directly impact him, but it doesn't hurt for Larry Nance. It definitely doesn't hurt. So I do like Nance at 5,800. That'll do it for this video, guys. We're going to just take advantage of the Pelicans and Heat value with their stars being hurt. All Heat and Pelicans in this video. There's just no reason not to target these teams on Friday. Punch in that Guru credit code. Let's have a nice Friday. Been crushing the GPP lineups. Let's try to get the cash involved as well. MLB, tons of games as well on Friday. So let's get after it to start our weekend. Give this video a like. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Till next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.